Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim coming to you from beautiful Boynton Beach, Florida, here at my home base, Ted and Jolene's place at Twin Palms. Camped out right back here on Tight Pants Point for a few more days, helping out around the property here. We're building a deck, rebuilding some rotten wood we're replacing, and the weather couldn't be better. It's really been perfect to keep us cool, breezy, and not inhibit our work schedule with rain or anything. So been really lucky. So it is Sunday morning, and right there is Ted's beautiful new truck. Him and Jolene are gonna head over there to the beach. I got a beautiful red Chevy Silverado extra cab. It's not the 4-door, it's got the nice chrome rims. 4-wheel drive, half-ton Chevy truck. And they're very happy with it. What's he doing? I didn't see him there. He's laying down on the ground. Yeah, okay. We'll talk to you a little later. Anyway, I think he's looking for his... he likes to put a trailer hitch on the front of his truck. I think he's kind of looking it over. He called someplace trying to figure out what he needs. He likes to be able to move boats around, things on the property, or campers and stuff. Like when her son visits, he's got a big one, and they'll literally put it on the front of the truck and push it in there, and you can articulate them a lot easier with a, like they do on boat yards with forklifts. Because you can turn differently than trying to back it in. Anyway, that's something he likes, and that's what he's going to get. So I wanted to tell you guys that I did read all the comments. I'm a very avid comment reader at night when I get in the cramper and during the day. Throughout all kinds of times of day, I try to keep up with the comments. And I just wanted to assure each and every one of you that if I did not answer you personally, I have read your comment, and I appreciate, I was telling Ted and Jolene over breakfast this morning, how people will take the time to watch the videos and then make a comment, and others even go to another level and write an email to me. And so, I mean, it's really, really nice. And I told them all the comments are over the top on what the community thinks about Ted and Jolene. Since they've been, talking a little bit more, and I've introduced them a little bit more, you guys are really, really nice of what you say about them. And you're all spot on. They're exactly what you say they are. These people are nothing but genuine people that only want the best for others and try to provide a good life for others that come into their lives, and it's a win-win deal. It's been a real honor knowing both of them. Jolene was not in Ted's life. Jolene had another life before. She can share that if she wants to one time on video with you guys about her past and where she comes from, without being too personal. And but she was not in the picture when I met Ted 20 years ago, or however long it's been, 15 to 20 years ago. It's been a long time. But he's known her longer than I have, and through other ways. So he didn't just meet her or anything. But I think they've only been an item maybe 4 or 5 years or something like that. I'm not sure. But he really struck it rich with her, because they are 2 peas in a pod. There's nothing that she doesn't do. I asked her last night, I said, in your previous relationships or life, did you always build things and do things, projects with others like you do with Teddy? She says, no, it wasn't really part of her deal. That Ted, took the time to show her things, and she wanted to learn them. And now, and she says, and he needs my help, and he does. So she was really a blessing to him to come into his life. She's a little healthier and more active. She knows where every tool is. She knows what a tool's called. She knows the sizes of sockets and stuff. She knows how to read tape measures. She knows how to cut wood with the saws and stuff. She can do it all. And then at the end of the day, after she does all that, she totally takes care of that property with her hands. She prunes and cuts palm fronds. She pulls weeds from the ground. She doesn't use poison. She takes care of the cat. And then she takes care of Ted and me while I'm there cooking the most fabulous things you've ever eaten in your life. They're in that tiki hut. They have everything that you need, just like I have everything I need on the galley of my camper. I just don't have her skills and make those homemade recipes, but she has everything that she needs, and she comes from a large family. I will share this with you. She has 8. She's like one of 9 siblings. So everybody, I'm sure, growing up had their job to do and helping around the house, and you know, nobody wants to just wait on 9 kids, so they all had to kick in. So I think she said she's in the middle, and she did a lot of baking and making the desserts growing up, and everything else she's just learned along the way. But she runs, like I'll say, oh, do you have this down here? And it'll be up in the front. And she goes, I'll go get it. I go, no, don't worry about it. No, I'll go get it. And runs. I mean, this woman is like 15 years old, 20 years old. She is incredible. And I don't want to say how old she is, but she sure don't act like it or look like it. I mean, they broke the mold with her. She's amazing. And then Teddy, well, you guys have all surmised from talking to him, he is smart. A lot of you guys were talking about how smart he is. The guy was an engineer. The guy thinks everything through. He looks at a job, he says, all right, I don't want to have to repeat this job next year or 6 months from now. I'm going to do it right the first time. And while things do require maintenance and things like that, he knows about outboard motors. He had an automotive repair shop working on BMWs in New York. He knows all about German cars, outboard motors of boats, just basic engineering and everything else, electrical, plumbing. He said, why would I want to call a plumber out here to my property when, you know, and have to show him what to do? Yeah, he's got confidence in himself. One of you wrote a comment that you like his hidden snarky way, and it's just him. Yeah, some of you wrote you like his New York accent. It's strong. He's from Queens, and he's never lost it. He is a New Yorker. But everybody in that neighborhood, he's on that property 30 years, has known him and has come over there and comes over there regularly. You know, they have golf carts around the area. The people next door, down the road, they're always stopping by to say hello to Teddy. He knows everybody. People calling him from New York. Tom, that you guys have met in some videos back, that comes down every year, that he grew up with, and Tom's brother that passed away, that Teddy was also very close to. Tom's brother was, what was his name? Teddy has a little nickname for him, they called him. I'll think of it in a minute maybe. But yeah, he's just you meet him once and, you know, he wouldn't do you wrong, he wouldn't cheat you, and he can help you. He'll stop what he's doing to help you. So I am very blessed. I think that how I got to meet Ted was a friend of mine. It may be my friend Pete that lives in the Philippines now. He had bought a motorcycle, a Harley. I had a Harley, and we were riding one day, and he says, hey, follow me over to this guy Ted's place. He lives on the Intercoastal, and you know, he's pretty cool, and I'll introduce you. We became friends right away. He liked my motorcycle. He was very friendly. He said, yeah, you want to come by? Now, in those days, there was a different thing. I'll get into some videos about that then. We had a lot of different elements of people. Some rounders. Some ones that needed to go, some ones that tried to take advantage, some ones that were a little over the top with their proclivities. And those kinds of things happened over the years, long before other properties were built next door and all that kind of stuff. And that's why we live a much straighter, narrower, and thanks to Miss Jolene for that. But he said, hey, yeah, you can come and do what you want and hang out here and, you know, bring your tent. And that's when I started hanging out at Tight Pants Point. And we became really good friends. And I used to help him around there and kind of work off my, you know, paying back what he was kind enough to share with me. And we'd have drinks together. In those days, I drank. And, yeah, we just did different things. We became friends. And it's just evolved over the years, and some changes have made. He's gotten a little older. I've changed my ways in a lot of ways. But we're still the same guys. And now that we got Miss Jolene in there, and it's got nothing but better. It's gone up, 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 up from what it was. But it was good in the beginning. It was excellent. And the property remains to have its same mystique that everybody loves that comes on the property. You leave Palm Beach County, you come off the road, and you go on that property with the palm trees and everything, and the tiki hut, and the little beach water there we have, and the docks, and you're like, you feel you're somewhere else. You escape all of this madness that's around that when you have to come out and get on the freeway and go to the stores and stuff. And they have no use for it either. They stay on that property as much as they can. Aside from going to buy a Lowe's board or a Home Depot job, or for her to run to Walmart or Winn-Dixie for food, they pretty much don't go anywhere until they're ready to go to New York. And then they stop and see her daughter who lives in Virginia. And by the way, let me conclude the video because I'm here at Wawa and I'm dying for a cup of coffee, and I want to go work out because I got to get back to the job today before I have a lunch date with some subscribers, John and Carol. But I want to let the community know about the comments, that I read them and all that. And your comments also of your opinions of what you would do if you were in my shoes regarding the diesel truck, selling the Crasher, the Cramper, keeping the Toyota. And while it was a complete mix of ideas and a very mixed bag, there was nothing negative in the way. It was just your honest opinions, of which I definitely appreciate and respect. And it's really true when you ask for others' opinions, because you can't always think of everything your own. And it was very interesting to me to read what the ideas of the various things that were left in the comment section. And it really made me reevaluate. And what I've decided to do, and I'll give you the reasons why, was most of you that talked about on the side of keeping what I have makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of you that promote the diesel and say they were really good and they do great and you can enjoy everything I was hoping it would provide for me as far as ease of towing, I completely believe you. And it's exciting even more to know how I could tow the nice big camper without worrying about anything, just like I tow the Cramper. And then there were you that talked about the expense. Now, some of you assume, and some of you have actually had the expense of what goes into owning a diesel truck. And there's a lot of valid points there. So I took that into consideration. And so what I decided was, you know, it's like when we used to go fishing, we were catching fish, and we would say, let's move, we're catching fish. Let's change everything that we got going on good. How many times in videos have I said, I've learned to love that Cramper, that I've got everything anybody else has got with the big camper. I can do anything they can do with the exception of using the bathroom inside of it. And is it worth all that extra money to have a bathroom? No. So I'm going to keep it up with what I have. That doesn't mean that I won't change one day. That doesn't mean that I won't even sell the Crasher and buy a piece of property or a little condo or a villa. All of these things are coming down the road for me after I sow my oats, after I live my life that I'm enjoying right now. For today, as long as it's today, I will worship the Lord, and I will continue to do with what He's blessed me with. I get ahead of myself, and reading your comments gave me a lot of things to think about. And one of the biggest reasons I've decided against the diesel is it wasn't so much against a diesel, is that it was probably not meant to be, because that particular truck, it was born and raised in New York. And even though it had low mileage, it's been in the element up there where they salt the roads and stuff like that. So a closer look was done to the truck through FaceTime, and it had a few of the things that just wasn't a match for me. Now, people buy and sell vehicles all the time in the Northeast, and that's just commonplace. It's probably not anything that you're not going to see on a vehicle up there is rust. Some have more, some have less. But once I see it, and I think it started, and the way I am, and as meticulous as I am, and anybody knows me that well, I can't have that. I couldn't go there. I wouldn't want to have to apologize for it or deal with what it can develop into later on, a year from now. I mean, we have enough issue right here living on the salt water on the intercoastal. But in New York, that is a huge problem with the way they salt the roads and stuff, I guess. So that one had low mileage, perfect and everything. But there were a few issues with it that I decided, even if I got one, that one wouldn't be the one that I would probably go with. So since I'm not going to go with that one, and I don't have another one in the works, and I'm not really that headstrong on getting one aside from that one, because I knew it was part of the family and what I was getting, I'm just going to keep what I have. And I'm doing very well. And the Crasher is still an idea of storing it, or selling it, or leaving it where it is, or something. So that's my new dilemma. Is I've been with doctors a lot down here, so I haven't been getting my rent money up there, but I'm staying somewhere, so it's all good. And I haven't used it when I took the trip, and I'm paying the rent on it. But if you store it, is it going to be where there can be theft, there could be rodents, there could be bugs, there could be, exposure? Right now, it's plugged in, and the air conditioning kicks on when it gets too hot, if it does. It's got security. My neighbor is just sitting there staring at it, day and night, as long as he's there. And I'm around others that are doing the same thing, that are coming and going, that also have a watchful eye. It's not just stored somewhere by itself. It's just sitting around, a brand new camper. I just don't like that idea. But it would be cheaper. And then again, it may not be that cheap today to store anything that's a big item like that. I don't know. But so then there's the idea of selling it, and selling the Cramper and getting something like the Wolf Pup size, probably newer with the fiberglass on the outside. I have no regrets of getting rid of the Wolf Pup. None. There was nothing wrong with it. I gave the guy a great camper. Why it hasn't sold, I have no idea if it has or hasn't. Some people keep saying that it hasn't yet, but whatever the reason is, I don't know. But there's one for 10 grand I can buy that's a year newer, that looks just as nice over here on the west coast of Florida. I saw that Miss Jolene found. But I don't know if I want something like that. And I don't think I want the teardrop shape either, because it loses that headroom in the back. While it's aerodynamic and it does what it's supposed to do, the little wet bath thing is kind of cheesy, where you're sitting on a toilet to take your shower. And the toilet only holds 9 gallons in that one teardrop I looked at of sewer water that you got to get rid of somewhere and pay to do that, or find a place to do it, and it's going to fill up on you. The cramper, the crasher, the Flagstaff is so big, how are you going to just wheel into a Love's truck stop with that big thing and park as easy as you can with the cramper? No, I don't want to pay for every single night a campground to sleep in it and put the slides out every night back and forth. And to answer one of your questions of why can't you just sleep in it with the slides in? Because you can't. You can't get in it with the slides in. You can get in it, but it's you don't want to do that. And then the people that talk about not putting your slides out when you're at Walmart or even Cracker Barrel, whatever, there has never been any Walmart saying that allows people to stay overnight, which is a prevalent thing. Not all of them allow it, but the ones that do, has never been said you can stay there in your RV of any size, because I've seen them everything. I've seen every size you can imagine. But you can't put your slides out. You got to sleep in your camper with your slides in. No, no, no. So those that say that, you don't know what you're talking about. And why would you want to try to sleep in a trailer that you can't get in? You can't. You're going to sleep behind the wheel of your truck, then why drag the camper? So those that say, that's why we're losing, you're not losing anything. Walmarts aren't saying stop camping here. There's been Walmarts that don't allow it because of the zoning they're in, or the neighborhoods they're in, or for safety reasons. Whatever their reasons, they got their own, but not every Walmart in America does allow it. The majority do. But like right here, they don't. In Boynton Beach, they don't allow it. But that isn't because somebody put their slide out. That's because they just don't allow it. And Cracker Barrel says the same thing. They invite people to stay. Love's Truck Stops invite people to stay that are traveling. Sleep in your car overnight as you're making your travels and move on the next day. Not like to sit there a week and camp out. I'm sure they don't allow that. But they don't have no saying either that you can't open your slide, that you can't get into your bed. Now, it's just less room than a huge parking lot at Walmart. So I would think that people that have a Flagstaff like I do probably wouldn't patronize Love's and Pilots. They would go to Home Depot if they allow it, or Camping World, or maybe the bigger lot of a Cracker Barrel or Walmart. And what's the other one that invites people? There's several companies, Bass Pro Shop. Those places, they allow it. And and Camping World. But when people make comments about they don't allow that, and that's why they're getting rid of it, and they want to say something negative because I cooked my steak in the parking lot at the Walmart. That was like, people were amazed by that. It didn't look like I had my family and I was a big ghetto gypsy rig sitting there living there. I had my tripod out, my little camper. I was making a video. People were intrigued. They were like, "What's going on over there? Doing a live shoot?" You know, they were pulling up. What you doing? Hey, that's pretty cool. That's a nice camper. You know, I mean, people were intrigued. But the ones that left comments about, that's why you're not going to have Walmarts allow, those are just unhappy sorts, folks. It's just people that inside them, they have to project on others of what they know about themselves. They're just unhappy people that can't be happy for others when they should be. They have no idea what the golden rule means. They've just got to say something. I call them hall monitors. Like here in Florida, you got all these people that want to walk around and look for infractions to, you know, and it's not to make the community better. It's not for that reason. It's because of some ego. It's because of some unhappiness, because of some strangeness about them that they want to make everybody else miserable. They get off on that. So you just ignore all that noise. Just ignore it, because they mean nothing. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and we'll all keep crushing it.